sports fans, and welcome to another edition of Scott Sports 101. I'm Scott Trella. I have an in-studio guest with me this evening. It's my really good friend Richard Turner is here. It's nice to have you. And we're going to talk Browns and NFL football. We'll talk Cavs and NBA basketball, and we'll talk Tribe as they go to take on the Blue Jays. But first, here is today's Scott Sports 101 trivia question. What wide receiver holds the record for most receptions in a season? I'll have the answer later in the broadcast. Well, turning to the Browns, it didn't take even a full work week for ex-Pittsburgh Steelers safety Morgan Burnett to find a new home. The veteran Burnett is set to sign a 2-year contract with the Browns. And according to Mary Kay Cabot of the Cleveland Plain Dealer, the team later confirmed the signing along with the signing of quarterback Garrett Gilbert, who most recently played with the Alliance of America's Football Orlando Apollos. Now, the deal is at max for Morgan Burnett. The deal is for 2 years at max of $9 million with a guarantee of almost $4 million. Now, Rich, what are your thoughts on this? Because he's going to be compliment. I feel he's going to be playing well behind safety Demarius Randall. What are your thoughts on this? Because Dorsey really knows what he's doing, and the Browns are really getting it right. But they're not through getting it right as of yet, not far from yet. What are your thoughts on this?
I think it's I think it'll be great.
Yeah. Well, I think it's going to be too, and I think he's really going to play well behind Randall. And we're just a couple of weeks away from the NFL draft. I don't think the Browns are going to make a big splash. What about Rich? Do you think that with the Browns having made all these moves during the offseason, with signing especially wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr., and I know we all thought that was awesome, I believe that. What were your thoughts on the signing of Odell Beckham Jr.?
You know, I think with Odell Beckham Jr., he will be a great player. And yeah, him and Baker Mayfield, they go great together.
Yes, I think they do.
They can take this team to the playoffs.
And I think we're going to make the playoffs next year. I really think we are. But the Browns do have picks. They traded their first and third to get Beckham, but they've got picks in the second, fourth, fifth, and sixth and seventh rounds, I believe, and that'll lead up to 255, Mr. Relevant. And don't forget, I will have a special edition of NFL Draft edition of Scott Sports 101 when it begins on April 25th. And for the first one, I will be on location at the Murphy House, the home of my friends Matt and Katie Murphy. And my special guest joining me for that broadcast on Thursday, April 25th, will be my really good friend Matt Murphy, who's one of my best friends, and we'll break down the draft, see who they will take in the second, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh rounds, and we'll see what's going to happen in the first and third, and we'll have it all for you. And I'll cover Friday and Saturday's second, third, fourth rounds, and fifth, sixth, and seventh rounds, leading up to pick 255 Mystery Relevant, and then on Sunday, April 28th, I will have a special recap, complete recap of the NFL Draft, and my guest joining me for that will be my brother-in-law Eric Hoyle and my cousin-in-law Aaron Hoyle. So we'll break it down and we'll let you know what happened with the Browns NFL Draft. So tune in for that beginning on April 25th. Turning now to the Cavs, after a 13-point loss to the Sacramento Kings last night in Sacramento, the Cavs will try to bounce back onto the winning track tonight as they take on the Golden State Warriors at Oracle Arena in Oakland, California. The Cavs have the best chance in the NBA draft lottery when that happens during the offseason to get Zion Williamson, the number 1 draft pick overall. I feel there's a small chance of Larry Drew coming back next year as Cavs head coach. What are your thoughts on that?
The Cavs haven't been playing very well lately, and with LeBron James being gone, it just doesn't.
Yeah.
Just they really haven't been doing anything.
But Colin Sexton has really stepped up his game, and he says they're building the team of the future, and he's really put up some big time numbers and really some big points with the Cavs. What are your thoughts on Colin Sexton?
He can build this team. He can try and pick things up, and I think the Cavs, they need a new head coach.
Yeah, and I think they're going to be looking for a new head coach, and I think that's what they're going to be doing during the offseason. And I think they're going to be going for some lottery picks in the NBA draft. What do you think they have a good chance to get Zion Williamson? What are your thoughts on them getting Zion Williamson, that number 1 pick overall? Because they say that sources are saying that the Cavs have the best chance to get Zion. What are your thoughts on that?
I think he can try and help out.
Yeah, and I think it would be a good move. I really think
it would be a good move. Yeah.
I think it might be a good move. So we'll see. It is time now for today's. We'll get to the tribe, and actually we're going to answer the question in just a moment. But it's time now for today's Scott Sports 101 great moment in sports history. And this dates back to January 30th, 2000 at the Georgia Dome in Atlanta, Georgia. And the moment is trailing by 7 with 6 seconds left in the Super Bowl against the St. Louis Rams. Tennessee Titans quarterback Steve McNair fired a pass to receiver Kevin Dyson, who caught the ball at the 4-yard line, but was immediately hit by Rams linebacker Mike Jones and dragged down at the 1-yard line as time expired. Now the impact with this is the Rams, which featured a high-powered offense known as the greatest show on turf, ironically got their Super Bowl victory thanks to that defensive play. Mike Jones played several more years before retiring after the 2002 season. The Rams MVP quarterback Kurt Warner threw 414 yards and became the 6th player to win both NFL MVP and the Super Bowl MVP as well. And I remember this well from Super Bowl 2000, and which that was, I believe, Super Bowl 34, I believe. And I remember that well. That was a great moment, and it was a really good play by the Rams, and who are now the LA Rams, as you know. And well, we'll get to the tribe in just a moment, but right now it's time for the answer to today's Scott Sports 101 trivia question. What wide receiver holds the record for most receptions in a season? Rich, do you want to take a crack at it before I reveal it?
This year?
Yeah. You want to take a crack at it?
Okay, let's see. What wide receiver holds...
Well, I meant the answer. Do you want to take a crack at the answer?
Oh, okay. Marvin Harrison.
Well, you are correct.
Yeah.
You are correct. And if you said Marvin Harrison, you all are correct. In 2002, it was as if the Indianapolis Colts were playing Madden and only throwing passes to Marvin Harrison to boost his stats to otherworldly levels. Harrison finished the season with 143 receptions and for 1,722 yards. His next closest competitor that season was Hines Ward of the Pittsburgh Steelers, who's now with the Oakland Raiders, who had 31 fewer catches that season. All right. Now turning to the tribe. After a 4-1 win in Game 1 of the four-game series with the Toronto Blue Jays, the tribe will try to extend their win streak to 2 in a row as they get set to take on the Toronto Blue Jays as they are underway right now at Progressive Field. Shane Bieber is on the mound for the tribe tonight, and Brito Scorates on the mound for the Blue Jays, and both pitchers are going for their first win of the season. And the Tribe has extended Terry Francona's contract through the 2022 season for at least 3 more years. And in Game 1, I'm going to go back to the 4-1 win. Trevor Bauer went 7 hitless innings and almost had a no-hitter going into the 9th inning, but the bullpen faltered a little bit, and they only gave up 1 run, but the Tribe held on and got the win. Rich, what are your thoughts on that from Game 1 with Trevor Bauer almost having a no-hitter going into the 9th inning, to 8th and 9th innings?
Trevor Bauer, he did a great job. You know, he struck out, and you know he gave his team a 4-1 win, and hopefully they'll do it again tonight. They'll do it again tonight.
Yes.
And I think tomorrow. Is it tomorrow?
Tomorrow and on Sunday.
Tomorrow, yeah.
And really, the offense stepped it up. They played a much better ball game, and they really were. They really had a handle on the Blue Jays in Game 1, and hopefully they can do the same thing tonight. And first pitch is at 7:10, which has already been and already underway on Sports Time Ohio. And tomorrow's game will start at 4:10, and I believe Sundays, is at 1:10, I believe. Yes. So hopefully we can take the other 3 games, and we'll see what they do tonight at Progressive Field. And you got to know they've got to keep they got to keep this up.
They do.
They've got to keep the Blue Jays, the pressure on the Blue Jays. They've got to, and Bieber's got to be in that strike zone. He's got to not give up or get these guys out and not let them get on base.
Exactly.
And they really have to really keep that momentum going. Well, that's just about going to wrap it up for this edition of Scott Sports 101. And I want to thank my really good friend Richard Turner for being my in-studio guest. I'll be back with another podcast on Sunday. But until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day in every way possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1. I'm done.